As we step up to this next picture, once again, I recognize it as being from the Passion Play of the Four Corners at the Farmington Civic Center. And I'm just looking at those faces. Check it out. Everybody there is in the scene. Not just the guy who's talking or about to talk, but every one of those actors, none of them professionals. But what a precious group of friends. As Caiaphas is questioning Jesus in this scene, he asks him, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the living God?" And everybody, including those who were in the seats, are sitting on edge. Well, the point I want to come to in this conversation around this photograph today, the brother who was clear to the left, playing the role of Caiaphas, is a good friend of mine. His name is Robert Womack. Robert, like many of those in the Four Corners, first came out with his toolbox. He came to help us build the stage, to build the set, and he was instrumental in that. So many friends. Tom, Jerry, Robert, Keith, oh my goodness, the list goes on and on and on. So many friends. But we didn't just need people to bring their toolboxes. We needed people to learn lines and fill costumes. So that became the conversation as we were stepping into the first year for the Passion Play in Farmington. Robert became one of those friends, and he played a Sanhedrin member. I remember that most of the guys seemed like they were all cowboys, or they were, working in the oil field. And one of the things they said to me early on is, "You know what, we're not sure about those costumes. We don't take our boots off for anybody." One of my favorite pictures behind the scenes is all of their boots lined up with their cowboy hats sitting on top. In fact, they did wear the costumes. And I remember the very first night, people were coming in, they were sitting down in the seats, and we were still building the cross bases. So these guys who were playing Roman soldiers, this man who was playing the high priest, he had never seen Jesus on a cross. We all experienced that together in front of an audience for the very first time. The guy who was playing Jesus, we flew him in from Denver. We had simply read the lines in all of the rehearsals. People knew what the lines were, but they hadn't seen the play unfold in front of them as actors in the play until the first night. And I'll never forget this. I'm sitting in the back, I'm watching the crucifixion. The Romans put Jesus on the cross. They say, "And now it is done." The line from Caiaphas is supposed to be, "And done admirably, with praise and thanks from us all." Well, that line never came. That line didn't come, and as a matter of fact, there were probably 4 or 5 minutes when it was just quiet. Nobody said anything. That is an eternity on stage. Guys, the room stood still, and we were all right there at the crucifixion. I had a costume on. I walked into the scene, and I walked up in front of that thief who says to Jesus, "If you're the man you say you are, save yourself and us." We kick-started the scene. We started over. Obviously, we missed some very important lines, but we got through the play, and we got to "He's Alive," and God did this amazing thing around our altars that night. But I'm looking for those cowboys. I'm looking for those oil field guys at the end of the play. I said, "Robert, what happened?" Robert still couldn't talk. He stood there with tears in his eyes. He said, "I just didn't know. I just didn't know."